Good evening. My name is Eric Kim, and I'm in my final year of my Bachelor of Commerce degree. This marketing PACE unit presented a high stakes, client facing, engaging, practical academic exercise. The team composed of Marco Caterina, Elijah Barrett, Billy Locke, Sean Crow, and myself was tested with functioning as a professional consulting unit for real world client Hydrolink Australia. The objective was to produce a strategic marketing plan leading up to the Phase 5, the future presentation. My team of 5 members during the early stages of the project clicked well with each other, each possessing different personal experiences, similar working styles, and academic motivations. This initial challenge, therefore, was not simply to delegate specific tasks, but to integrate these 5 distinct personalities and skill sets into cohesive, high performing, and productive team. To foster transparent and effective communication for collaboration, we've organized a shared Google Drive folder alongside utilizing an Instagram group chat for everyone to stay updated with tasks, ensuring maximum productivity is ensured during each of our tutorials. This strategic pivot was not the result of a group think session, but for a mission to recognize the strengths of each team member to make it easier to clear roles, which in turn help minimize team conflicts. So, my ethical foundation was derived through my commitment to data integrity as an immediate act of accountability and transparency towards a hydrogen client. I sourced business confidence data from Roy Morgan and critical wage and economic data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics to successfully establish a baseline of honesty in a professional practice setting. This process was important for a client to base an accurate and reliable portrait of a current Australian marketplace rather than on flawed or incomplete data. So, accountability and fairness in the workload distribution. For the client presentation, our group faced a slight ethical dilemma in the project of uneven workload distribution. Initially, Sean and I were the backbone of the group, responsible for the conceptual blue ocean strategies that basically got us on the steering wheel for the group. This required a high level of trust and personal responsibility for each of our team members. The team successfully later avoided the free rider problem by making all of us input our diverse range of skill sets and rendering each contribution unique and visible. All right, so moving on to part 4, the interrelationship between teamwork and ethics. So, within our group, the majority of us attended every tutorial, having a fair share of leadership roles each week. Considering we all understood the requirements for the task, we looked at the bigger picture to generate recommendations for our client partner, Hydrolink. All right, so during the second half, after the mid semester break, um, the ethical standards for our group was slightly compromised. The lack of communication sort of affected our decision making progress as a group for the 2 recommendations for Hydrolink. I must reflect that I was complicit in this failure. I also feared like the confrontation and hoping the problem would somehow solve itself. So contrastingly, with weekly discussions with our tutor Steve Erickson, this allowed our group to establish a productive work ground again, where emotional intelligence and ethical principles were the main sort of elements to the success of our group's project. And our group also held a productive video call during the week to check our progress with the project, recognizing our fair share of efforts and contributions. So, moving on to part 5, professional insight in your career. My primary learning was that ethical leadership is not a position, but an action, and the willingness for any team member to communicate about the importance of following the ethical principles and fostering a culture of trust um, ultimately translates professional standards like integrity and transparency into demonstrable structural procedures. This links directly to my future goals of pursuing a management career where I can implement and enforce structural accountability. So, this PACE project demonstrated a smart evaluation of real world problems and choices. making a clear connection between curated academic activities, driving for profound professional growth. The exercise cultivated my values and commitment to honesty and responsibility to engage in a productive teamwork collaboration, which is founded on relationship building and emotional intelligence. Um, this discipline, honed in an academic setting, translates immediately into the professional environment by fostering more effective internal partnerships, like working alongside my management team with the support of my colleagues as a department supervisor. So, lastly, aligning with my continuous commitment to learning, I've learned that transparency and accountability, while often exemplified by large organizations, are the non negotiable blueprints for rebuilding trust and attracting clients who value integrity. Ultimately, this PACE marketing unit also helped me recognize that the most valuable educational experiences, meeting new friends, and group work presentations have motivated me to go above and beyond and take on the dynamic business world, accelerating my progress as a marketing student to become the best professional I can be.